I don't just make YouTube videos. At times of the year, I work as a freelance lighting technician in the entertainment industry. And I have a portable tool bag that I carry with me. It's got most of the tools that I need that I can sling over my shoulder and go out and actually fix stuff. So let me give you a review of the 2025 tool bag, and we'll start off the test equipment. So I'm just going to move this out the way and bring the test equipment out the bag. First tester is a Fluke T90 voltage tester, just a basic Fluke tester, and the reason for having the Fluke test lamps is because some of the work will involve diagnosing problems, electrical distribution equipment, so having a properly rated industrial tester is really important there because it can be quite high current sources. Beyond that, for testing within equipment, I just keep a compact clamp meter. The clamp meter is quite handy, this one, because it's AC and DC. It's a Unity UT210E, does AC and DC current and does the usual sort of lower voltage ranges and resistance, diodes, semiconductor, just everything that you'd need in a basic meter, but is compact, which is quite important. And then we have the more specialist equipment, like the DMX Cat by City Theatrical. This is a piece of test equipment you plug into a DMX or RDM network, and you connect it via Bluetooth via your phone and use their app, and it lets you actually plug into, say, a network of lights and then go along indicating which light is being selected. It will advertise which it is, and then you can actually set the addresses on them remotely, which is very convenient. It's also useful for diagnosing things and testing lights in the workshop, because you can actually just basically plug it into one light and then just test its various parameters. The other things I have in here are a dedicated tester that I built myself just for testing cables. When this is plugged into a USB supply, it basically steps through 3 circuits and then scans them to allow for flexing of cables to see if there's bad connection. But this basically lets you see that all 3 leads of a single DMX network are intact. Other things that are useful are a very basic tester, 2 LED, 2 resistor, and this just shows you the data lines in DMX are actually present and there's actually data on them. This is an extremely useful piece of test equipment. Beyond that, it's just things like, well, what else have I got in here? A tiny little charge lead and an adapter that just lets you go from male to male effectively for testing from the other end of a network. Very useful. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the screwdrivers. One moment, please. So let's start with the Vera screwdriver kit. Where does it say Vera? That's it, says Vera there, or Wera or Wera, whatever you want to pronounce. It's a universal kit. It's not the full kit that has all the panel door screwdriver bits on it, but it's just a range of flat bits and a range of posi drive and fillet bits, and you can slot them in and they lock into place. It's very useful, it's very good. Keep in mind that because I travel about and because I need this to be able to sling the full toolkit over my shoulder before going out to diagnose faults, I need something that's manageable. And that said, that toolkit weighs approximately 5 kilograms, which is about 11 pounds, which is in the manageable level. This is odd. I don't know why Vera do this. It's one of the neon test screwdrivers. You wouldn't think they'd really taint their reputation with this, but some people clearly want it. And at least it's made with a decent resistor in there, so it is a viable and it is a useful terminal screwdriver. I think they've just basically said, well, we might as well throw in a neon screwdriver. Strange. But the other one is this ratchet screwdriver made by Vera again. This was a gift from someone. I appreciate that greatly. And it is one that has the locking assembly that locks the bits into place. And with that, I have these. And the reason is you need so many bits for so much equipment that it just makes sense to go for these multi-bits. Look at the rust on them. This is what happens. Sometimes it rains while you're at work. The other thing I have is a little miniature precision screwdriver kit with an adapter so that it can be used in this, that allows me a range of other bits and for going into Smaller equipment. Okay, let's dig out the pliers and snips now. For that area of electrical tools, we have a pair of pliers. Are these Baco? Ergo. That is Baco, isn't it? Anyway, these are not VDE rated. They don't have this sort of multiple layers of insulation and this little protective thing to stop you slipping down onto the metalwork, but that's very unlikely to happen in the way I use these anyway. The snips, the side cutters on the other hand, it seemed sensible. These are Knipex, which I rate very highly. We've got a set of generic Draper wire strippers. And for completely not for electrical use, do not use these things ever for electrical use. There have been instances where people have done things like they've tried to crimp a connection on a plastic crimp and onto a live wire, and then they've died. So don't use Leatherman tools ever for electrical work, but it's perhaps useful for just random things that another tool may not do because it has all the blades and other stuff in it. So it does have its uses, but as I say, not electrical. Okay, next is things for tightening up stubborn things. These things add a lot to the weight, notably the Baco shifter, but it's needed for many things because it is just used to loosen off stubborn bolts, particularly ones that have rusted with the weather. So I have the adjustable wrench or adjustable spanner or shifter, as we sometimes say. We have a 3/8 ratchet. To go with that, we have 6, 8 and 10 millimeter hex keys. With the spanners, we have 13, 17, 19, which is my most common sizes, and also 13, 17, 19 deep sockets to go with the ratchet, and a dedicated wing nut spanner, mainly for when people have excessively tightened wing nuts. So you can loosen them again. There are better versions of these now, particularly because they've steered away from just the traditional wing nuts. It tends to go for sort of moulded sort of aluminium nuts now. So I should really update this to the newer one. And that leaves the sundries. Okay, let me look those out. So for the auxiliary extras, we have a basic measuring tape. Doesn't have to be a big one, not a big chunky one. We have a file with a flat face and a rounded side. We have a gas-powered soldering iron, a totally beaten up one, but it still works. We have refill gas for that and some lead-based solder. We have a standard fold-out utility knife. The reason for the knife when I've already got the Leatherman is that it's just sometimes useful to have a standard knife. We have a rechargeable LED head torch. Just these were such a revelation when they came out. It's just, you know, having used tungsten lights in the past in the same type of work, LED is the way to go. A good long length of runtime. Also, my tester with its little extra lead in it, the DMX Cat with that little tiny USB charging lead. I can use the power bank and the small power bank to just top this up. And Vaseline. Why the Vaseline? It's got various uses for stubborn aluminium connectors when they're just if you've ever had those connectors, particularly socket packs, that they're just grating because they're just so stiff because they've been dropped and dented. The tiniest little touch, not a big greasy smear, but the tiniest touch in the threads of aluminium connectors will actually make them go together a lot better. Could also potentially be used, I suppose, and for those of you who have chaffing between the legs for lube between the legs, if it's very hot, sweaty work, as it often is. So let me get all that out together and we'll see what the whole lot looks like. Okay, yes, that is quite a lot really. It fills the whole bench area here and it is stacked too high in some bits, but that's fundamentally what a really compact toolkit that lets me cover most of the tasks I need to do. Now about that bag, the bag itself, this is a military bag. Is it a gas mask bag or something like that? The reason I've got that one is because it's very strong. That's a more recent purchased one from eBay. But the reason I've got that in the first place is that when I was young, I remember admiring the local maintenance guy at the local shopping centre. It was a big, huge shopping centre. And he used to walk around in his overalls with that slung over his shoulder, one of those exact same bags. And I thought, okay, I quite like that. And it turns out it's quite a practical bag for carrying a lot of tools about with you when you're doing maintenance. But that's it. That is what's inside my bag 2025. Upgrades I need to do, perhaps get the VDE compliant pliers. But really, ultimately, most of the mains voltage critical things are covered by the Vera drivers and the electrical test lamps more than anything else. But that is it. Quite a comprehensive and useful toolkit.